You've been told you're too emotional, too intense, too much, but here's the truth. You're not hard to love, you're just hard to manipulate. When someone tells you you're too difficult, too needy, too sensitive, what they're really saying is, I can't meet your needs. It's not your needs that are the problem, it's their inability to meet them. But instead of admitting that, they shame you for even having them. You get labelled as difficult because you want honesty, too much because you ask for consistency, crazy because you sense when something's off. But those aren't flaws, those are signs that you're emotionally awake. And the wrong person will always find that threatening. So let's have a look at what's really happening. You've been in situations where love came with conditions, where the bar kept moving, where your needs became negotiation. You were made to feel like love had to be earned, that if someone pulled away, it must be your fault. So you shrunk, you quietened yourself, you performed, you tried to be easier to love. But here's the truth, the right person won't need you to shrink, they'll rise to you. I'd like you to imagine you're like a high voltage electricity pylon and the wrong wiring will short circuit every time. But the right connection, you will light up the whole room. It's not about dimming yourself, it's about plugging into someone who can handle your current. Let's have a look at what it looks like. You express a boundary and they call you too controlling. You ask for clarity and they accuse you of drama. And you show emotion and they weaponize it against you. You need reassurance and they make you feel clingy. And you speak the truth and they disappear. You're not too much. You're just too aware for someone who benefits from your silence. So let's have a quick look at the damage it does to you. You internalize rejection as proof that you're unlovable. You start walking on eggshells, afraid to speak up. You shrink your needs until you barely recognize yourself. You keep trying harder for people who never try at all. And you believe that love means earning your place in someone's life. But that belief is the wound, not the truth. So why couldn't they love you? Because real love requires emotional availability, and because real love takes responsibility, because real love wants to grow, not control. Some people aren't capable of that. They want love that's convenient, not committed. They want comfort, not connection. And if you're deep, aware, and emotionally intelligent, you'll make them uncomfortable because you see through the mask. So let's look at some solutions to help you. Stop shrinking to fit small spaces. You don't need to be easier to love. You need to stop choosing people who make you feel hard to love. Make that your new standard. Rejection as redirection. When someone ghosts, withdraws, or shames you, thank the universe. They just removed themselves before you gave them more of your magic. Just remember, rejection is God's protection. Then reparent your inner critic. Every time you hear a voice that says, you're too much, ask yourself, who put that there? That's not the truth. That was training. Talk back to it with the truth. Then learn what real love looks like. Real love is consistent, curious, calm. You don't have to perform, you don't have to earn it, and you don't have to guess. It feels like exhale, not anxiety. Then celebrate the parts that they couldn't handle. Your sensitivity, your intuition, and your high standards. Those are your strengths. They weren't too much. They were too right for someone who wasn't ready. And a little extra coaching tip. Write a new definition of love, not one based on survival or silence, one that includes emotional safety, depth and reciprocity. Make that your compass. And in my closing comments, you weren't hard to love, you were hard to manipulate. And for someone who needs power, that made you the enemy. But the right person, they won't need to dim your light. They'll be drawn to it. You were never too much. You were just too real for someone who wasn't ready. Stop trying to be lovable. Start being loved.